This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 849 for the week of December 30th, 2024. My name is Zach.
And my name is Ed.
And on today's episode, very special guest, translator for One Piece in Weekly Shonen Jump and Manga Plus. We have Stephen Paul with us. How's it going, Stephen?
Hey, we got one last episode for you this year. I don't know if we were necessarily going to do it if we didn't have something to cover because it's usually a pretty
Well, yeah, chapter 1035 is out in a week from when we're recording this next Friday. So,
yeah,
yes,
we'll figure that out.
We'll have that to talk about.
Well, next week,
next year.
Yes,
that's true. But this year, or what remains of it, we're having a good old 2010 episode of the One Piece Podcast, it feels like, with me, Ed, and Steven. That's it. That's all you got. We're going through One Piece Magazine number 19. How did you title this, Ed? What was it?
I've called it a couple of different things. I said live, laugh, loof, or eat, pray, loof. And then earlier today, I was just looking at the cover, and I thought, laugh, Moff, Tarkin.
So it's Laugh and Moff, and Steven, care to explain?
No, it's funny that Ed calls it Eat, Pray, Loof because there is no none of that appears in the title.
That's true.
It's just Laugh and Moff, or as the Japanese calls it, Yurui One Piece, which means Yurui is like loose or just kind of laid back, chilled out, and so. Laugh obviously refers to laughter, comedy stuff, and Moff is the way that they've chosen to represent Mofu, M-O-F-U, which is the sound that like fluffing fur makes, Mofu Mofu. So there's going to be a lot of focus on comedy and a lot of focus on animals in this issue.
I saw that there was an extensive interview with Shigeru Chiba, voice of Buggy, in this.
Yep, yeah, and of course we have some special
lots of pictures of him and his mustache,
like that interview there. And,
I want to add, Stephen, that the author comment from last week, which we did not read, is thank you to all the creators who contributed to Yuri, this magazine, One Piece magazine, as I mispronounced. It was a blast to read. Yes. I'm very excited to go through this personally.
We had such a good time with the last magazine.
Well,
that was the merchandise. Was it the merchandise?
No,
that was the
Sanji Zoro.
Yeah,
the Zosan magazine. The one that looks the cover that looks like a wedding announcement.
Right. This one actually, the centerpiece really of this one, aside from the the aforementioned interview, is that there are One Piece like tribute manga from 14 different like comedic mangaka, and some names you definitely will recognize. So that's kind of what the bulk of the middle of the magazine is dedicated to, is their little couple pages each of their One Piece manga, which is fun.
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is also 220 pages, which is the largest of any of the One Piece magazines. That's what it says.
Largest,
is it?
Best.
Yes,
feels heavy. Yeah, it looks heavy.
Yeah. It is thick.
No, it does look thick. I just didn't put two and two together there. So
yeah, it is thick. So let's clap them pages together.
Wow. Out of the
Do we have any other stuff to go through before we get into that?
Well, I was looking. Merry Christmas, belated. I'm in the middle of the Hanukkah trolls right now.
Yes, happy Hanukkah.
Yeah. The most important, the longest, and therefore most important. No, neither of those things. Holiday. I think we had enough news last week. Personally,
that is true. Yeah.
I'll mention some things I should be mentioning more often. First of all, Kirsten, I mentioned in the past, has been writing reviews of each chapter and kind of more in-depth articles about them. They come out either just before or around the same time as our episodes. So if you need more One Piece, or if you just need to read something, please head over to our website, onepiecepodcast.com. The full treatise from Greg is also on our website. The End of One Piece, we discussed that in depth 2 weeks ago on the SGS. But please give that a read as well.
We meaning the royal we, the podcast.
Yes.
The podcast we.
Yeah. Lest we forget. And also, please subscribe to us on Patreon. We are, for a limited time, giving away a 7-day free trial to anyone who signs up now for the $5 or $10 tier. $5 tier gets like most everything audio related, ad-free episodes, extended episodes we now have.
Alternate episode art.
Alternate episode art, alternate episode titles, equally important, and a lot more, including Forced to Watch 4Kids and blah, blah, blah. Check that out. I'm a really great salesman, obviously. And on our $10 tier, we have the video commentary from Anime Boston. Ed, I don't know if you remember that. You were there, right? For the
No, I wasn't.
OPP Japan? Oh, no?
Was that when you guys were doing the Are You a Cop? Was that one?
Oh, it was. It was that year.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, my God. What a memory. Yeah, you weren't there that year?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever been to Anime Boston.
Oh.
I believe Jose was part of that, too.
Yes.
I remember that.
No, Jose was 100% because
Yeah.
I think that's how the Are You a Cop started.
The Departed.
By the way, that's from The Departed,
Yeah.
A movie
Departed.
I need to see. So... I think that's everything. Why don't we get into the manga recap of Volume 19?
Very well.
This is the manga recap for One Piece Magazine Volume 19. Laugh' Moff. That's what I choose to call it. Live, Laugh, Luff. We all know we made all these jokes 5 minutes ago. Steven, why don't we get into it?
Yeah. So as we mentioned in the intro, this is the largest of the magazines, and of course all my other issues. I say issues. You know, they're full on books. Are on the shelf, just out of reach. But I can't remember. I want to say that some of them previously have had like French flaps where it's like a dust flap, but it's part of the cover.
I think this is only the second one. I think 18 is the first one.
Yeah, this one has an actual, honest to God, dust cover, like a removable cover.
Yes.
That comes off.
I think the last one did too. Yeah, I agree.
Yes, and you get a fun little montage of Laugh and Moff on the inside cover. Featuring all the animals and
Ed,
all
and
Straw
on
Hats
the,
yucking it up.
I didn't notice on the flap on the dust cover your favorite the chibi.
Oh yeah, isn't that my Discord avatar?
And not precisely, but it could be, and it should be.
I think it was in the past. It was in one of the color walks as well. And I just want to
Yeah.
say that on this little sticker sheet here on the inside of the cover, we got Big Chungus Marco.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on there. Yeah,
right. There's a little fold out sticker sheet inside the cover, and you may have seen the video for these because there's an animator called Kawaii Sony, which means like, oh, you poor thing, or you poor soul.
Bless your heart.
That's their handle, and they do lots of little fun animation stuff. And One Piece did a collaboration with this artist for Volume 108, and that's when they put up this video. Actually, their main mascot, you can see it if you have this sheet in the top corner where Luffy and Zoro are sharing a beer, and there's a little pink like rabbit thing with a diaper.
Fairy with a diaper.
Yeah, and a little bow tie. Yeah. That is the main mascot, and it's kind of like Cheeton. Like it's just,
I was about to say
this little thing that like just does all sorts of disastrous things that backfire on it.
Isn't
looks
Cheeton
like
supposed
a
to be a
Cheeton.
sea otter or something like that?
Yeah, but I think it's a baby that wears a diaper also. Like the mascot. It's a weird thing like that.
It's a very weird little mascot. But the video that these all come from are just like various little gags about
oh my God.
this stuff that's happened. You can actually see some of the scenes on the reverse of the flap.
Just to remind people some of these amazing scenes, Kuma trying to eat a donut and accidentally teleporting it. Frankie trying to figure out which Kuma is the real one with the CAPTCHA thing.
Yes, Luffy running in the "We Are" intro and then just slipping and eating shit. Yeah,
that's such a simple, very well done. This is such an Adult Swimmy kind of.
What happened to Smoker? Was he getting heckled on stage at the Apollo? Somebody threw a tomato at him.
Where is
Smoker?
He's in the bottom
of
the
page.
Oh, next to Bleeding Zoro.
Oh,
that's the ice cream. Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's like when the girl drops the ice cream, but it's just like an entire sundae that just dumps
my hair
all
ate
over
your
his
ice
face.
cream.
Yeah.
And his face looks like a combination. My entire body ate your ice cream. It looks like a combination of angry and no, I have to hold back. This is too cute, sort of thing.
Yeah.
This kid.
Yeah.
Sanji is trying to light his cigarette, and it takes him so long that the sun has gone down, like it's day and then it's night, and he's still trying to light his cigarette, which is fun.
Is he doing a dance? It looks like he's dancing.
Our favorite scene, "Take My Effing Blood," where Jinbei gives his blood to Luffy, and then Luffy takes all of the blood, and he's really fat, and Jinbei is super skinny, and everyone is laughing at it.
But why does Marco look like a big chungus?
Marco.
It's because he was rubbing his eyes when something happened, and his eyes cave into his
too much.
Yeah, too much. He did that in it's a specific panel when he does that. It's one of the volumes more recently. Yeah. All excellent. I love the CAPTCHA stuff. There's a few extra. Anyway, we could probably move in.
Yeah,
not even in the actual magazine.
Kept stickers of all of these things. So yes, and I belatedly forgot to mention that the logo for the One Piece magazine, instead of having the usual series Skull and Bones logo, it does have the Luffy drawn Skull and Bones for the O in One Piece, which is very appropriate.
Yes.
And we are greeted with an illustration. I'm not sure who drew this. It might be listed somewhere. There's an illustration of Luffy and Rebecca in their Kurita Coliseum gladiators form, and they are looking up at a statue not of Kyros but of churros. It's a giant churro statue.
Luffy and Rebecca went to Tokyo Disney.
I did not.
Yeah,
I did not.
Did anybody else watch the basketball game?
No.
The Main Street USA, like
with Goofy
eating handfuls of churros.
Hands.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Like double fisting handfuls of churros.
Well, yeah, here we go. Churros instead of kudos. So it's a very close joke in Japanese.
I want to mention on the table of contents, I want to give a shout out to Adil, who did point out that the Drum Island Luffy with the chopsticks in the nose is doing the Nika pose, and that is the case in the manga as well.
Which comedian?
Complete coincidence?
Whose bit is that?
Whose bit is that?
Luffy stealing somebody's bit with the chopsticks and
I don't know. It probably does. Yeah, it probably does stem from some like 60s era.
I thought it was
70s
Ken
era.
Takakura. Isn't he a comedian?
Maybe. I wouldn't know. I couldn't tell you.
I think Greg explained it once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Ken or Akaishi Sama. Was that it, or is it? Yeah. Anyways, so we have our dream illustration from Oda, which is I want to see Bonnie and Ginny and Kuma eating pizza together. And so, yes, it is our favorite characters in One Piece eating pizza. But this time it is a very, very heartwarming illustration of the family all together.
Oda does not know how pizza works.
Yeah, it looks like are they
over leavened?
I wonder if they're sitting in a like a convertible or something, or if this is like a beach chair or something. There's something behind them.
No, I think it's a beach chair. Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, there's a palm tree in a little.
What is going on? Shade. I'm trying to. It looks like a painting or something in the front.
Like, no, it looks like they're under an umbrella.
No, but like by their feet.
That's the pizza. That's their pizza board or something.
Oh, that's. Oh, okay. I see like drinks. A face on the left, but it's not. This is not important. And their jewelry brand drinks. So that's.
There might be some, what do they call it? Pareidolia? Is that when you see faces and things that aren't actually there?
No, there's definitely. Okay, whatever. This is important.
I don't know.
Don't stall on my behalf.
I see the jewelry writing on there, yeah.
Well, that part, okay. Please don't write about something.
Yes, jewelry brand sodas
Misspelled.
is what they're drinking. Yeah.
Yep.
And we get the
Making of.
the little animation, time lapse, each stage of the drawing, which I'm sure, I don't remember when this came out, but I'm sure they put this online because they always do with his little animatic drawings that he or his the auto-generated ones that show off.
I like the flat. I like the flat one with Oh, maybe I'm seeing. You're right. Maybe I'm seeing a face of the pizza. I'm just looking at
this picture really shows how Kuma has bear
4.
ears and human ears. He must have great hearing.
Yeah.
Well, it's a.
I think that's
hairstyle.
yeah. He decided. Yeah, he settled that it was hair with emoji. So,
oh right.
I presumably that's just Kuma's hair. His weird hair.
To be fair, why is it brown in the middle, like that, or that other
tan?
Tan?
Isn't that just skin? Inside the ear?
That's not. Maybe we shouldn't think about that
Let's
much.
not think about that.
It's become cursed relatively quickly.
Blurst.
No, this is a very cute image.
Yes,
I saw this
nice
making
one.
the rounds, and that's a good use of the dream illustration thing.
I'm not really sure how I would describe Ginny's hair color. It is pink-ish, but it's darker, kind of.
They
have like the same hair, don't they? I'm colorblind. Why am I even?
She and Bonnie, pretty much, yeah. They only look different because of the difference in the details, the hair details.
Why don't we move into
I just apologize if I make a lot of magazine noises this on this recap because I only have one hand to use, really.
Yeah, well,
ASMR.
Join the club because I'm flipping it right behind the microphone too.
So
all right. So part 1 here, Laugh and Moff, is the laugh section, and appropriately we get a Gear 5 Luffy silhouette behind the front page here, and so. Yeah, I apologize in advance here because I didn't have a lot of time to prepare this. So I'm learning about a lot of this as as you, the audience, are, I'm sure. But first we get just a little kind of, this is a general like sort of data book fodder thing of here's all the different aspects of how Luffy can be silly or just like
Luffy being Luffy's jokes, how Luffy jokes that Luffy does.
Yeah, Luffy's jokes, the ways that he acts silly, the ways that he acts not very serious, or when he's
doing impressions of the crew. Yeah, that's the first one.
Doing impressions of the crew, eating while he sleeps. His very food centric personality, singing when he is having fun, just breaking into
or
spontaneous song
in Skype, whichever.
Slipping and falling into a hole when he's making a snowman.
Or
he's trying to balance on the ball of snow.
I think that's what it's looking like, but that's that's from the Skype bouncing on the clouds.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
That is confusing because it's right behind the snowman. Yeah, I see now. Yeah,
I do love Luffy's impression of Sanji. That's a good gag.
It was on the cover of what was it, volume 17, I think. Or 18.
And he can do the Chopper impression with Robin's help.
Yeah, with the arms on the hat is fun. And we'll go to the next page, and this is his Yudu Sento or battle. So this is how Luffy fights when he is like not super serious about it. So you get the gum duh when he empties his mind of all thought to prevent was it Eneru from was that with Eneru?
Eneru was using mantra.
Yeah, mantra. And
stealing Arlong's teeth.
Yeah, stealing Arlong's teeth. Gum UFO, Water Luffy. Just lots of the best,
him trying to bite Crocodile's head off and getting a mouthful of sand.
Yeah, the Gum Chomp, where he was literally copying Wapol there. The Gum Gum
Gum
Chomp
Gum
Chomp.
Baku.
Baku Baku.
Yeah.
It was a good idea. Not well executed, but good.
No, it did not work.
No.
There's a whole little section for all of the Gear 5 stuff, of course, and the various shenanigans that he gets into with that, which is very, very appropriate.
Kaido
for this section.
eyes. I don't know if I need to see that color.
Yeah, reaching out of the eyeballs.
Yes.
That is, yeah.
That one hurts to look at.
That's fun.
Poor Kaido. Poor Kaido.
Never
He's in
say
a
that
better
again.
place. He's in hell. Anyway, what's
next page we have Yuru no Kotoba, or words. So this is, I guess, just some like typical Luffy sayings, where he's telling people to chill. You have him like all of his excitement stuff, sugoi, kakkoi, ikasu, all the stuff that he says when he sees cool things. Such as the wax armor and gloves that Mr. 3 gives him in Impel Down, and Bon Clay's detective, or not detective, his camouflage, his subterfuge powers, random nicknames that he gives people, like the fish roll man, which is what he calls Igaram because of his hair.
Calls him Naruto.
Yeah. Chikuwa is fish cake, I guess I should say,
Right.
is what they usually translate that to. The crocodile growing out of the banana, which is what he calls the banana wani. Let's see what else. Yes, mystery blank, referring to his
Ed and I's
feel like
favorite. It's
Yes.
been a long
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since he's done one. He's getting too wise, unfortunately.
It's a mystery tree.
I don't know if he's getting. I feel like Oda forgot that was a running
Yeah.
joke. But he said he read this, so I'm hoping it reminds him
Yeah.
of some of the running jokes. Which
Yeah,
is
I mean,
important.
look, there's a lot of mystery going on in Elbaf right now, so I feel like we're missing out.
He has missed out on mystery opportunities. I think I could say.
Yes, his frequent asking people if they poop, which he's said to Brooke and to Kami, as they show here. This is a fun, definitely an underrated scene, or an often forgotten scene.
Actually, my favorite part of that scene is what Zoro pretending that he had never seen a mermaid before and erasing it from his memory.
Oh yeah, that's a good gag.
Yeah, from the mermaid scene. On the bottom here, they have the scene where they're going through the entrance to Skypiea, and they're like, "We're going to heaven," and they're all wondering, like, "Oh my God, have we died?" And Luffy is like, "Ah, heaven! I can't wait. We're finally gonna go to heaven." And he's like in this very bizarre, blissful mode.
Heaven can't wait.
So yeah, just fun stuff for Luffy. Gives him a chance to pull out a bunch of scenes from the colored manga for these colored pages. But yeah, not super essential stuff.
These
next,
are all
however,
glossy pages still.
Yeah, we're in like the fancy, expensive part of the magazine, the front, and that is when we switch to the long interview with Shigeru Chiba. And
One of my favorite voice actors of all time.
Yeah, what a legend!
Yeah, absolute
Just showing
legend,
it
yeah.
on this cover too, committing to the buggy look.
I think, like last year, I had posted a short clip of him from an Urusei Yatsura movie, just completely losing his shit and having a breakdown, which is very well acted. It's one of the movies where one goes missing and his character just can't deal with it.
Yeah, he's one of the, they call him Megane, or glasses.
Yes.
I didn't know.
And he plays a similar character in Pat Labor.
Yeah, he's the narrator in Fist of the North Star, which they mentioned here, and of course, Kuwabara.
I didn't know that.
Kuwabara.
Oh no,
yeah.
I did know that. I did know
in Yu
that.
Yu
Sorry,
Hakusho. Yeah.
sorry. I'm just having
Yeah.
my
His narration in Fist of the North Star is the focus of that one Spring of Trivia video where they point out that, like, as the episodes go on, he gets more and more intense
Right.
when he does the next episode preview, which is a classic video.
Yeah, that narrator's fantastic, and it does not surprise. Yeah, no, I think I did know that. I forgot. It's been a while since I watched that. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's an interview, so there's just a million different things that are kind of too busy for me to get into.
Well, what sticks out to you, Stephen? Is there anything particularly that you had a chance to look at that sticks out?
He talks about like the relation. So just like you're looking at on the first page here.
Yeah.
They talk about stuff like aspects of Buggy's character, which I feel like is definitely something that Oda has like grown with Chiba, like over the years, because he's been around for so long, the character Buggy, and has appeared so many times and evolved over the years. I feel like a lot of it's similar to kind of how Frankie and Yao, he took on a lot of the tics, the vocal tics and things that Yao was doing, Chiba's depiction of Buggy has somewhat influenced the way that he acts a little bit. So they're talking about the ways that Buggy interacts with Mihawk and Crocodile now that they are in Cross Guild and just
I wonder how much of his like increasing prominence is even related to him. I mean, I guess he always had kind of his foot in the door there, even early on. But
obviously, he's been around since Urusei Yatsura, so he was already a veteran actor when.
Buggy, I was talking about, but yes,
he was a veteran actor when he was doing Raditz.
Can't let that go.
Yeah,
look, we all make a mistake, It's
probably my least favorite performance of his. He doesn't.
He was only in like one episode.
not a very wacky character.
No,
not making use of his strengths.
No, that's true.
But lots of wisdom in this, and kind of his knowledge of how to play a character in the best possible way, where when to ad lib and when to stand back and kind of let the moment speak for itself and stuff like that. He's a very wise guy. Lots of good stuff. Unfortunately, unless someone takes it upon themselves to translate the whole thing, it's probably not ever going to see an official release, because there are 19 of these magazines now, and
I think the most interesting interview was from the first 3 magazines, where it was the interview with Oda.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we went into those pretty heavily, I think.
Oh yeah, we did. We had that. That was the whole series. We had the deep dive. What was it?
Design Deep Dive was one of the
Design Deep Dive.
Was later.
That was one of the later magazines. But
the thing I remember most.
Go on.
The thing that I remember most from that interview was like talking about how he found out that he didn't get a Young Artist Award of some kind because they wanted to bring him along slowly. Didn't want to give him too much too soon because they had a lot of high expectations of him.
Yeah, he talked about his relationship with his initial editor, like pre One Piece, who really helped build him into a proper professional author who knew how to write stuff, and there was a lot of kind of very harsh, intentionally harsh criticism to make sure he didn't get too full of himself, because he was a diamond in the rough when he showed up. So after that interview, then we have a little bit going back to the Kawaii Sony, the collaboration with the stickers, where we get to see another. It's a very short interview, but we get to see some of their sketches that they did for some of the little bits.
Crocodile on the at the not laundromat, the
dry cleaner.
Yeah, holding with his hook. Yeah.
Kaku trying to put a sweater on and his nose going,
That's what's going on.
Through the collar. Yeah.
But what is going on with Kuma and no, not the donut one, the Vegapunk Kizaru one? I'm trying to like figure out.
Let's see. I think it's just like his head like wobbling around.
It's hitting them while they're eating. Is that?
Yeah, your head is in the way, so I guess they're trying to eat something, and like he's walking with them, and so his head is just waving back and forth.
Gross.
And like almost hitting them. Yeah.
I was hoping.
Yeah, I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of that being wobbly.
No.
I feel like it's supposed to be firm.
That's
A
also
little profile
they're
of the
both
artist down here on
bad.
the bottom left of the page here. This is page 27 now.
Yeah, they point out. So if you have seen the video, it does that thing which is very popular now, where it has a very obnoxious recorder, like trying to play "We Are" and failing.
Yes.
And the artist says that they bought the recorder and performed it themselves for the for the video. So
That's commitment.
Genius. Yep. Yeah. Oh, here now you get the explanation of Marco too. They show what
Yes,
what
him
exactly
rubbing his
happened.
eyes like that. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pokes himself in the eyes
but
too
he
hard.
does look like a big chungus.
I feel like we did make that joke too when that came out for Volume 108. His eyes look ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, we talked a lot about these. I do like the different gears on the bicycle.
Yeah, and Nami getting a really shitty tattoo from the doctor. That's
Yeah.
she looks so sad.
All schmeary.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So then after that, so yeah, starting on page 28, we have some little interview, like list crossovers here with some comedians, and this guy. So actually, like my history with Japanese comedy is that I used to. It's been probably about 10 years, but I used to go on like one of those sites, like I forget what they were called, like JPopski or jdrama.org or something like that. They used to have their own like BitTorrent trackers where you could download, obviously there were dramas. I didn't really watch those, but there were some people who would put up a lot of the popular comedy shows.
Probably a lot of GNT.
Which one is GNT?
Gaki no Tsukai.
Yeah, I did see a lot of those.
Yeah. The no laughing Batsu games.
Yeah, they would put those up, the
Yes.
year-end specials.
Yes, I've watched all of those. Those are very funny.
They're always funny.
Yes.
And there were other shows like London Hearts and Ame Talk and a bunch of shows like that I used to watch all the time. And then eventually I stopped. I forget if the site broke down or moved somewhere or whatever. But anyways, so I used to know all of these comedians, like these very popular comedians, because I would see them on these shows all the time, but I haven't for 10 years. However, this guy I recognize here on page 28, Nobuyuki Hanawa from the group Knights. So he's been around for a while, and he's kind of a funny, like he's a very sort of intellectual guy. He has a very deadpan atmosphere. And what these lists are here are the favorite joke or favorite gag rankings from One Piece. So his top 3 gags. And so his number 1 from volume 77 is the scene where Baby 5 and them are fighting Lao G. And or I guess Baby 5 would have been on Lao G's side. It's the part where all the future Straw Hat Grand Fleet guys are fighting the rando guys in the Doflamingo family, and it's the scene specifically where Lao Ji is dying of old age, and his soul is ascending to heaven, and Baby 5 is like, no, you can't die, you have to come back, and then his soul comes back into his body just so he can go, what? Sorry, what did you say? So it's like. It's a joke about him being old and near death and also being hard of hearing at the same time, which is a great.
You also got the back pain joke at the bottom there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of good jokes for Lao Ji. He was definitely a highlight.
Lao Ji was definitely one of my favorite parts of Dressrosa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what that says about
the
me.
birdcage part. Yeah.
Yeah, that second half of Dressrosa.
Not so much.
Yeah. No, Lao Ji was still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he's dead.
His number 2 joke is just the very very quick subtle one. Is the one where Bonnie is demanding. This is early on in Egghead when she has not learned the truth yet, and she's still very hostile to Vegapunk, and she's wondering where his giant head was, and he says, oh, it's getting a little too long, so I got it cut, and that she's she does a little tsukomi. She snaps on him that like. It's not like a haircut. Like it doesn't work that way. He thought that one was a very good joke. Has a very good tempo to it. And number 3 is the scene from Amazon Lily when Grandma Nyan is describing the
Gloriosa.
the love. Yeah, Gloriosa is describing the love sickness that comes over people, and she is reminiscing on her own past, where she's like, "Oh yes, I had that happened to me once too," and she's going into this very like slack-jawed, far-off look, and then one of the girl, I forget which one this is, the one who's always jotting down memos, is like, "Oh my gosh, Grandma Nyan, what's the matter? Like your face looks hideously disgusting right now." And she's like, "Shut up! Like, watch your tongue." So that's another very classic Manzai style. So
Manzai is very much about reminding the bokeh of proper decorum.
Yes, yeah, it's very much about venturing out, being too wacky, and then reining it back in, and reinforcing the boundaries.
Maybe getting
of
slapped upside the head or up over the head.
Yes,
with a fan or something.
Throw a little slapstick in there.
A little reminder.
And on the next page, he has a list of what would if you were to form a Manzai duo with any character in One Piece, who would you work with? And so he says, let's see, what is it? So his list here is Sanji, Usopp, and Kobe. And God, what is his reasoning for Sanji? I think he said like Sanji, I guess, is a very strong character in terms of Manzai comedy because he has such distinct characteristics about being good at cooking but very weak towards women. Makes it like a very good like he's saying I could be the bokeh and I could say something that is mildly derogatory towards some woman, and then he would do the tsukomi and would work very well in that in those terms. Obviously Usopp he is kind of like the number one. I think there was that total thing where someone totaled up the number of tsukomi that each person did, and I want to say Nami was maybe number 1, but like Nami and Usopp were pretty much 1 and 2 on the crew. So he works both ways. Usopp can be a bokeh and tell dumb jokes, but he can also be the tsukomi who whips everyone back into line.
He does do both.
And yes, he's a switch hitter. No double entendre there. Let's see. And then Kobe is more of a personal thing. I think Kobe reminds him of some of his partner Tsuchiya. So Kobe is very similar in that regard, I guess. I don't really think of Kobe as being a particularly comedic character, but I guess there's something that reminds him.
No, he doesn't crack you up in every.
Yeah, he's so funny. And then he has thoughts of which characters would make for good combinations together. And he singles out Eneru and Usopp, which he thinks they get very good reactions together, like with Eneru's lightning and Usopp jumping out of the way, and then he could say like, geez, like, hey, your lightning's too strong, man. Like that would be a very good like boilerplate joke for them to do.
Let's see the admirals down there.
Yeah, and then he lists the 3 admirals and the 5 elders, and I guess he's just saying like in terms of like the the strong personalities at play, that they work very well, which I guess you can see them being based on like the actors and the actors' roles that they've had. So there's a lot of like sort of realism in their portrayals that
got to include
probably
Fujitora
works.
in there as well.
Yeah, Fujitora. Isho. Yeah, in fact, he says, yes, I think Isho would make a very good bokeh, he says. So he could drop a meteor and say, whoops, did I just drop a meteor? So
he was our Mr. Magoo. As folks
did I do that?
I don't know if he's an Urkel, but yeah.
Well, kind of. I mean,
yeah,
that it was the scenario that yeah. They also have another on the next page. They have a second comedian that they got to do this stuff. I am not familiar with this guy. He's named Seiya from Shimofuri Myojo. So he must be a younger comedian, if I have not heard of him yet. And so his 3 favorite gags, his number 1 is the fact that someone taught the Sphinx in Impel Down all of the different types of noodles, which is they got a lot of mileage out of that.
I know
Isn't
that
there
is
also
a
an underwear
voice.
joke from that Sphinx as well? Or was that
No, that's the Manticore?
The Manticores
Yes.
do the loincloth, the fundoshi.
Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe
strawberry
that was
panties. Yeah.
one of those. I think the Sphinx was
Noodles.
I can't not hear that. The Venture Brothers was Tatum in the dub for the
Ichigo Hansu. Yeah.
His number 2 bit is Lao G putting G into everything, which is also, again, Lao G, real great comedy character.
True.
I know.
He's no King Baum, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I had a lot of fun. I remember like the gorilla with a G when he loses the fight, and that was his last thing.
You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe Lao G transcends and finds himself on Sesame Street whenever they're sponsoring the letter G.
Bring him in as the friend. The G where he says, "I got G off on the wrong floor from the elevator." He turns that into the G joke. And then his third one, this is a fun, very simple one, is let's see, this was volume 13, so it's just after they're getting to the Grand Line, is when they're relaxing, like, oh, check it out, it's a dolphin, and the dolphin jumps up out of the water, and then it turns out to be like several times larger than the ship, and they're like, oh, it's huge.
I kind of want this in the live action. I guess
that's a good,
it's a good simple gag.
It's a good gag, and it's a good like check out the fantasy of this world. Crazy things will happen. And on the next page, his choices of who he would like to team up with are Buggy and Jinbei. I feel like those are both very self-explanatory. Buggy obviously is just the eternal Tsukomi.
Buggy's great, yeah.
Yeah, he is always snapping on people.
No jokes about his nose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jinbei is the eternal straight man. So depending on which part of the partnership you want to play, Jinbei would be the silly one, which is funny to think about because he's very not silly, but. Some of the bokeh are just very straight-laced, and it's all about the Tsukomi going crazy.
Oh, is he trying to team up Lao G and Akainu here?
Yes, that is his. He thinks it would be a really funny combination to have Lao G and Akainu. He says Lao G is a very funny character, but I would hate to be his comedy partner. I would never want to do that. He would always be the one stealing the spotlight, and you would be the plain boring guy who never gets any extra, sponsorships or ad deals or things like that. Which is definitely a thing that happens. There's a lot of 2-person comedy things where one guy is the character and the other guy is just kind of the other one. That's a dynamic of the business for sure. And then they have a little interview with him. Next, let's see, what is this?
Is this the 3 voice actors for each of these? A transcription of an interview that they did?
I think so. Yeah, it says it's a replay of the 3 Admirals All Night Nippon. I think this must have been off of the YouTube
radio show or something like that.
No, they have. Yeah, they have that too. Yeah,
it's in the style of a radio show. It says it was from September 18th, 2020.
So everyone missed that.
Yeah,
that's why actually the opposite. Everyone saw that.
I guess I think it's probably just, I don't know if it was written out beforehand or if it was just kind of ad-libbed. But they do list the voice actors here, so presumably it was the three of them just kind of riffing and sort of playing each other, and they're joking about going to karaoke and stuff like that in character.
Did Kizaru's voice actor pass away, I thought? Or maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember that.
Okay, I could look it up.
I don't think so.
I thought I might just be wrong.
You might be thinking of someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently they did a bunch of these because there's several transcripts that go over this. Page.
I'm unfortunately correct.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah, he passed away in 2018.
Oh,
so
okay.
I guess
So it was a while ago.
So it was before this. I was wondering because he. Yeah, because of that's why they had it from 2020. But no. Go ahead.
It's listed here as Ryotaro Oki Ayu, which I guess that is the current Kizaru.
Yes.
Voice actor.
Unsho Ishizuka.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one who passed away.
Yeah, Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball. Yeah.
Okay.
The second Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball, not Daisuke Gori. Sorry, go ahead.
Wow. Yes, and then we get to the true kind of centerpiece of the magazine, which is the manga, the little tribute manga, featuring all the guest artists. And
here we go.
The first one is very obvious just from the front page. It is Mine Yoshizaki, who is the author of Keroro Gunso, or Sergeant Frog. And It is quite literally a crossover because they have the frogs and Luffy just hanging out together.
Oh shit! I love that show.
Did they have an interdimensional fridge that I'm forgetting about from that show?
Yes, they do.
It's been okay.
Yes,
that's the plot.
Super dimensional gate. Yeah.
The fight is pretty awesome. I hope it's on digital because they have the crease issue that I never usually have to deal with. Luffy's face is like right in there. But
it just turns into this really wacky combat fight. If you ever wanted to see Luffy punching Sergeant Keroro in the face,
he gets in some hits.
I by the back of the head. That's pretty funny.
I want to say if they animate any of these, I'll be the happiest person ever.
Yeah, I don't think like how they animated the little 4-panel comics from the back of the FMA volumes for the OVA collection.
I don't know if I see this happening though, because I think this was kind of exceptional because they're not Shueisha properties, right? Steven?
No, this one is. I think it's Kadokawa. Yeah, it is Kadokawa. It's Monthly Shonen Ace. Yeah, and it started in 1999.
And if you like Sergeant Frog, I think the entire series is out subtitled now from Discotech on SD.
That's right. Yeah, they just put out the last big set.
I do love it. It's a fun series. Dub and sub, all fun. What's the next one?
Next one is about the Robin I Want to Live scene.
But she's stuck in that position
this is a
forever?
This is a very wacky Robin thing. So this one I have to flip forward to find the author. This is from Kazutoshi Soyama, who is the author of one of the kids. It's called Zettai Zetsume Dangerous G-san.
Absolute
despair.
Dangerous old man. This is a very long running. It says here, through the various series that he has drawn, there are 55 volumes of
I thought Zetsume meant death.
So it's like super in the line of fire or in great danger, dangerous G-san.
Yeah, I remember that because in Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, his brother's name read horizontally reads as death Zetsume as opposed to Zetsubo, and his brother is a doctor, so he's Dr. Death.
Yeah, boy, that's unfortunately not appearing that Koji Kumeda, not appearing in this
Too bad.
in this volume. But this one is Selfish Robin, Wagamama Robin-chan. And so she's going like, I want to live, I want to eat, as she points to the Baratier.
That's
and like,
happening.
I don't want to work.
With the same face, identical face. Yeah.
Right, with the crying face. And so she is just like
reclining on
throwing
its tummy
tantrums.
Oh, this is just a toddler. This is extremely familiar.
By the way, relatable.
Yeah, I just, again, to go off on toddlers, that
I don't want to poop.
I was going to say, yeah, they could, well, wait till he hears this in 10 years. It's incredible, the little tiny things, like this level, even worse, like, I had the wrong cheese on my pasta, and now I need to, I can't think of a good example. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so she's throwing a tantrum. She wants to go eat yakiniku on someone else's dime. She wants this Nintendo Switch, all of these things. And Nami realizes, like, oh, she, when she was like, I want to live, like she felt like she really nailed it, and now like that's her thing now. She says like she's locked in on that flavor, that that vibe.
It's the opposite of the Seinfeld joke, leaving on a high note. It's playing the high note repeatedly.
So what's
forever.
this gag about Gaimon with the poneglyph?
Yeah. So Nami comes and says like, hey, I've got a poneglyph key holder Gaimon version, which in parentheses costs 300 berries. And Robin's like, I want it. And Usopp's like, you want it? And she's like, and Nami's like, okay, well, you can have it, but can you promise me that you won't be selfish and throw any more tantrums? And then, like any child, Robin just immediately is stone faced, like just stops crying instantaneously.
This is too real. That's what I'm getting here.
Then she puts the charm on.
And then, and then she's like, I promise I won't be selfish anymore. And then she's like, ooh, ha, ha, hee, hee, and she's admiring it.
This charm really changes size pretty quick.
Really
here,
putting on the old Wiggum charm.
And then Luffy comes out of nowhere and says, Sanji, food! And just smacks it out of Robin's hand. And then it flies overboard into the sea. And Robin's selfishness continued through the new world. And then you have her doing her post-Alabasta, there were too many enemies for my dream, where she's got the blood coming out of her mouth.
Oh, my
God. Yeah. And then they're like, wow, is it really that serious?
I gotta say, the star of this comic is the chopper on the very first page of this. Freaking me out.
Chopper.
Freaking me out.
Oh,
in,
yeah.
The bottom of the first.
In the background.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very good. I'll take a picture of that. He
spent all his time working on Robin in the Baratier, and he was like, all right. Chopper.
No,
that's
close.
It's
on purpose.
It's closer. It's closer to fake Chopper the Fox than real Chopper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
And the third comic is by the author of Teasing Master Takagi-san, which is one of those recent anime series like Uzaki and what's the other one? What's the one with the dark-haired girl who is always
she just won't leave me alone?
Teasing. Yeah.
An isekai kind of thing?
No. It's like they're all like character who blank blank blank. That's the pattern for the titles of the series.
I like the
this
art.
One is from the author of Takagi-san. Yeah, very very nice art. Much more
Miss
detailed.
Nagatoro is another one.
Nagatoro, that was the one I was thinking of. Thanks, Ed.
Yeah.
This one is about the Seraphim, and it is like the Hancock S snake is like picking the feathers off of S hawks, the Mihawk wings and stuff, and is generally acting like Hancock and trying to manipulate other people and stuff. And I don't know. It's cutesy.
It looks cutesy.
Yeah. Following this is one of the best crossovers, I think. It is from the author of of Saint Young Men, which I do work on the manga. Of
Who is
Saint
that?
Young Men.
Eneru fits right in.
Yes.
That one is Kodansha.
Okay.
And they put out hardcover omnibuses of it.
Okay.
And yeah, so this one again, a direct crossover where it is set in the apartment in Tokyo where Jesus and Buddha live. Only now they have a visitor who is Eneru.
I need to read this comic. I don't know why I don't.
So it is. It's pretty funny. It's a pain in the ass to translate, but I think this is a very good one. They are. Let's see. What is Eneru doing? He is acting very much in character. Like it's mostly just Jesus and Buddha like talking to themselves and like trying to figure out how to properly entertain him. And like they recognize him from the One Piece figures that Peter, the apostle, has on his desk at work, which is a story point in Saint Young Men. I remember when that happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was very funny. And Eneru is just sort of like, there's not enough room here. Insolence. This is all insolence. Very, very much in character. And then let's see, where does it end up? The eventual gag at the end when Eneru is leaving is they're asking him like, oh, are you taking your Maxim back? And he's like, no, I took the Chuo line to get here. Like I was on the train. And Jesus says, oh, well, we've got our own ark. We'll give you a ride. And then he is crammed into the hold of Noah's Ark with all the animals. And he's like, insolence, as they...
Oh, what's this gag about Zoro getting crucified here?
And Luffy getting beat up?
Yeah, so Luffy... they're talking about other characters who have sort of like godly abilities or aspects that put them on the same level as the gods or the characters in the story, and Luffy's ability to create friends and believers. He's like, oh, if only we had that power, so we could get more believers.
Yeah,
and,
Jesus, you're doing just fine. I think I don't think you have to worry about that.
And then and then Buddha's talking about the Straw Hats crew's ability to suffer persecution and not give up, and so that's what the Zoro panel is referring to.
Ironically, the crucifixion not Jesus related.
Yeah, no, it's not. Right, they're not doing the easy joke there.
It was left in, unlike the one in Fullmetal Alchemist.
Was that something? Did they take that out for the anime?
I think it was edited in the manga as well, where they just sort of make it into a slab of rock instead of a cross-shaped rock.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Oh no, man, Cat Viper and Dogstorm just were on X's in the manga too, right?
They were on X style. Yeah, it wasn't until Roto that we got the cross back.
X gonna give it to you.
The next one is from the author. My wife recognizes immediately because she watches this anime. I'm not sure what the English title is. It's Kawajiri Kodama, and it's like this weird little like slacker kappa girl. So she has like her little her little pawn, or what is it, like a lily pad on her head sort of looking thing. Mm-hmm. And she just kind of lounges around in her apartment all day, and so it's a very laid back sort of gag manga anime series, and so that's what this artist did. And the concept for this one is that Nami had a yokan pudding, which is a traditional wagashi sweet, as they call it, and it is it's sort of like a solid block of like a sweet bean paste, essentially. And you eat it with, like, you cut it up and poke it with little toothpicks to eat it. So it makes a little block, and of course, like other sweet bean stuff, it's very dark in color. And Luffy and Zoro have eaten her yokan, and she's very pissed about it. So they run off to try to replace it for her, and they come across Buggy, and they decide that, well, Buggy has the.
Sorry, can I say that the chopper on this page also excellent? On the first page.
Very good. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Robin and Chopper are the witnesses to Luffy and Zoro's sin.
Oh yeah, Robin has got a very evil expression on.
No, she's got a very I don't want to be here right now. Yeah.
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah, that's what it is. That is her
and
humor.
So they run off and they find Buggy and they're like, hey, wait, Buggy's cross sections are dark. They're black like Yokon. So Luffy is like, hey, Zoro. And then Zoro does sort of like a Pika thing where he just chops Buggy's body into smaller and smaller pieces until they just have a block straight from the center of Buggy's torso. And they're like, aha, look, it's perfect. It looks, when you cut Buggy up into pieces, it looks just like a block of Yokon. Like, wow, this is awesome. And then they run off like, hey, let's go take this back. Let's go, let's have Usopp taste test it. And they're running off. And
into the
Buggy's
sunset.
Running off into the sunset. And Buggy's
Literally.
like, hey, wait. And then at the end it says, and ever since then, I've just had a hole in my heart that can never be filled.
Aww. Poor Buggy.
Yeah.
Shanks. I like the little drawing. Is this the same person?
There's it's a full page of just character bits and sketches and ideas that they were
what does the VV one say, if I could ask? I don't know why.
Stop all the fighting.
Oh, okay. It's just they're just like the
she's
lines.
just doing that. They have above VV is Child Robin, where she is a judge on a comedy show, and she's giving the bit as 0 dedashishis.
Sorry.
That's what, yeah.
I love that Tomato Gang is in here. Oh, the cat guy from Killer's Crew? Is that? Or who was that cat guy from? I'm trying to remember.
Faust. That was Hawkins.
Hawkins. Criminal that we have not seen or heard.
Oh, there's a Kung Fu Dugong on this page.
Oh, wow. Is this a Where's Waldo?
He's right in the middle.
He's between...
Katakuri and Mihawk.
Yeah. Cool. What is Katakuri saying? That I'm actually curious about. Anything interesting?
Let's see. I think it's more of a comment. So it says, what happens when you're doing your shtick, like you're doing your gag, and you see the future where it falls flat and nobody laughs? Like, what do you do then?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
You change the future.
Yes.
There's something with Frankie and Crocodile over his shoulder.
Yeah,
here.
that's a good one looking.
Looks weird.
Where is that?
It's right next to
Mihawk.
Yeah. On the other, it's on the same line as Katakuri.
Yeah, Crocodile is saying, "Oh, what are we eating, or what are we having for food?" And Frankie's just going, "Ow!" So
he's tapping him with the hook. That's why I think.
You think
he's
so?
Like, hey,
I don't know.
Frankie, no.
It's a very rounded hook there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's unclear then what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next? What's the next one? Yeah.
One last one. Whitebeard says, "Do acupuncture marks count as a fleeing wound on your back?"
Imagine his whole life he just doesn't get any. Yeah. He's got terrible back pain and isn't able to address it.
The next one is from the author of Urayasu Tekkin Kazoku, which is another famous, very long-running series. It's been going for 30 years, Whoa. And the total across all of these series, I think it's in the 4th one now. It has 103 volumes. So, this guy's been around for a long time.
Almost up to One Piece.
And yeah, I'm not really familiar with it, so there is kind of a, I don't know. This feels more like just kind of doing his own shtick, where he's got a classroom full of kids and they're all wearing Luffy's hats, and you think they're like the straw hat. You can see like a Nami there, but then it's not. It's just just kids. I would assume they're probably characters from his series or something.
I assume, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the punchline is the Luffy or the transfer student or whoever is some weird guy.
Weird face, yeah.
Yeah. The next one, again, not familiar with this one.
This looks shoujo-esque. Right?
Aori Hirao. It looks more moe-ish, but it is a like it says Levelly Girls Side, so it is the girls version of the Reverie, and then they have some like silly like captions for each of the members, like Nefertari Vivi sleeps with 5 silk pillow covers on her pillow.
Well, she is a princess.
Yeah, she is a princess.
Oh my god! Sorry, I'm just noticing the bottom left of the next page. Go ahead.
Yeah, Shirahoshi enjoys a chocolate bath and then drinks all of it, which is very weird. Rebecca panicking because I would assume this must be like some shopping site or something, that there's a Q, which is QOO10 mega sale that it ends today, and she forgot, so she's panicked to.
Isn't that the new
Gundam
Gundam series?
Oh yeah, wait, was it QO or was it QU?
It's impossible to tell in that font.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Yeah,
was it like Cooks or something?
Oh, who is this next to Rebecca?
Quox or something.
I don't recognize this.
Next to Rebecca is Jewelry Bonnie,
yeah.
who stirs her natto 100 times before she eats it.
Ew.
Yeah. And then there's Stussy, who goes to the department store, the underground department store, 5 times a day, which that's common thing in Japan, is department stores are all in like high-rise buildings.
Yeah.
And then Bello Betty, who owns a custom order colored Switch, Nintendo Switch. So I guess you can do that. Okay, and then all right, what is it that you were referring to?
The
here?
bottom left of them doing the stupid selfie stick. I hate selfie sticks.
The selfie,
but the
selfie
background
stick,
with Stelly, where they drew best friends on his back.
Where is that?
In the very bottom left,
the very bottom corner.
Yeah. What is he? What? Or are they just like cheese there? I guess, or the equivalent.
Yeah, I don't. He's just sitting there.
Why is Stelly just sitting
throne.
there?
Okay, so they go to the throne, the empty throne, in the Mary Joa throne room, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's a throne! Let's take a picture. Let's take a selfie." So that's when they're pulling it out, and then Stelly is just sitting in a fold out like lawn chair, just looking up at the throne. So I guess he's just admiring and dreaming of his his future as the king of the world.
Doesn't even notice they're drawing on his back.
Right. He doesn't even realize. So they just use his back to draw their little like prekura.
This continues. I didn't even realize this continues. Yeah. That's everyone in Grand Central Station that I have to walk by. So,
oh boy,
Grand Central Terminal. Zach.
Fun.
There's a station and a terminal. I think terminal's the. Okay, I'm not getting into this. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then they eventually realize in the someone realizes in the photo that, wait, isn't that Stelly? And he is eating Pangea Castle manju or steamed buns. And they're like, wait, where did you get those? He's like, that's at the store on the first floor. And so then they go down to the gift shop.
Because every time you go anywhere in Japan, you have to bring back a edible
a souvenir.
Yeah. Usually it's those bland cookies.
No, they have some good souvenirs. I like the Tokyo ones. They're the banana ones.
The bland cookies with printed stuff on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should get to... I don't know if there's anything else in that, but the next one is for Steve Yurko and Steve Yurko only.
Yeah. When you see the front page with Don Cree, Pearl, and Geen eating around a campfire...
it says specifically at the top, this one is only for Steve Yurko.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone
Pearl's
else
only fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to see Pearl without his shields on, which is honestly not as weird as I might have thought. It's just because, he has a square body, so... Yeah, every other character in One Piece that has that body, so... not.
But
that,
he's in the jungle, which is where he's from.
Right, and yeah, they're doing all the survival techniques, and
where is it? So is this supposed to be like taking place on the Grand Line when they weren't doing well or something? Is that?
I don't know if this is before or after. I guess I don't think it even specifies. Yeah, it might be before. This might be when they found Pearl or something like that. But yeah, it ends with him.
Yeah, they
like,
captured him like Willy Wonka captured the Oompa Loompas.
Oof, yeah. Maybe a little less colonialism involved, but
maybe.
And then I don't know. The joke at the end is that he's clapping the pearl things together and starting a fire, and then somehow the little bombs are there, and then they all explode. All of Don Krieg's bombs, and it causes a gigantic explosion.
And they all die.
Yeah. That's why we don't see them anymore.
To be fair, only once.
Yes, and next one is Thriller Bark themed thing, the Kingdom of Dreams Thriller Bark. So yeah, I guess this is the author or the narrator dreaming of, oh man, I wish Thriller Bark was a theme park. And so they are doing this. I guess this was also for Steve Yurko with his theme park.
Oh my God, these are really
theming.
Steve Yurko coded.
Yeah,
paled, whatever is the.
And so they're seeing all the attractions and the characters and whatnot, strolling through the different areas.
Oh, the tree with the creepy nose.
Yeah, the having drinks.
Could have been a crew member.
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm like looking. I'm like, where's the jokes here? I don't really see a lot of jokes in this, to be honest.
I think it's more just what would it be like to go on a ride that's in Thriller Bark.
Yeah. And the artists of these last two are, what is this guy? Itaru Bonnoki is the Pearl and Don Krieg one. That one is called like the vampires always die, or vampires die right away, or something like that. I'm not even sure. It does have an anime.
Not in that new Nosferatu movie. That takes fucking forever.
So wait, please correct me if I'm wrong here, but the first one looks like it's specifically for Vero, and the second one looks like it's specifically for Brodsky. Am I wrong?
Is that right?
Because there is a lot of Sanji drawing in the first one and daydreaming about Sanji, and the second one is daydreaming about an extremely good-looking Marco.
I'm still looking at the author profiles for the ones that we just looked at.
Sorry, I'm moving ahead then.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were.
Well, yeah. Anyway, yeah. The other one, the Thriller Bark one, is a webtoon author who has experience with Shonen Jump Plus. So
who drew this Ikemen Marco?
Okay, yeah. So this.
Sorry, we're cutting ahead. We're
on
to the next. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one is Saho Yamamoto. I recognize this art. She's
me too. I don't know why.
Yeah, she does have or she had a one shot in Jump Plus, so I guess that would explain how she had the connection here. But yeah, it's sort of like I would guess an autobiographical manga here, daydreaming about Sanji when she was in middle school.
As you do.
Sounds right.
This is also Steve Yurko pilled.
Indeed.
Sketching Sanji in class, hearts above him.
And apparently she was so good at sketching Sanji that she became a mini celebrity in the class for being able to draw Sanji. Yeah.
Oh, no. Is this a different girl, though, who was drawing these super good-looking Sanjis, and then she rips
Yes,
hers?
and then she sees a girl from a different class. Yeah. She's like, oh, my God. She's really good.
This is literally Steve Yurko here, because he's always doing the compare and despair thing.
Yeah.
Be. It's like, oh, I could be drawing Sanji so much sexier. That's all he thinks about.
But who drew
And then
sexy
she
Marco?
feels, and then she feels so ashamed that she crumples it up, and then the ending is 20 years since then. Looking at Sanji reminds me of this bittersweet episode of my youth.
I guess it's a true story.
And then Tsuzui is the next author who has a series called Tsuzui-san the Fujoshi. So,
oh my
there
god!
you go.
There you go.
Brodsky.
And this one is me and
Someone
One
send
Piece.
us.
Yeah, and she's going through her background. And out of the many characters, if I had to say which one is my favorite, that would be Marco the Phoenix. Yeah. Another autobiographical thing. Where's let's see.
I didn't know Brodsky, this was their style, but I guess they sent this in.
Yeah, the author here has a little drawing of her collection of Marco merchandise.
This is their soulmate, I think.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
The Tsumu Tsumu little...
The sits on chair, I see.
Yeah,
here.
the tomato. Yeah, the one sitting on the chair. All kinds of stuff.
Oh my god, this is... and then her saying with the happy shirt.
Yeah.
The only detailed drawings of this are Marco.
Looks like they're flipping through a doujinshi box.
I'm assuming.
Let's see. Yeah.
The middle of the...
Oh, there. Yep. Yeah.
Middle panel.
And following these, of course, there's no mistaking the Fukumoto Nobuyuki, a.k.a. author of Kaiji and so many other gambling-related manga. The original Squid Game master.
That's what I... Like, Erica's like, oh, you want to watch the second season of Squid Game? I'm like, but Kaiji exists. Should I really be watching? I feel like I'm cheating on Kaiji. Yeah. My poor
So many
Kaiji.
square jaws.
Oh, but the what's the spinoff?
Mr. Tonegawa?
Mr. Tonegawa, yeah.
Yeah,
My
this,
God.
this one...
What an amazing series, if you haven't seen that.
This one is called, like, the one-day outing... honcho or like team leader, which I'm assuming must be a character or group of characters.
This is in the Tonegawa series.
Okay.
They don't have a lot to go off of, I think, because they're like, I think they're 4 jokes and stuff. So they end up splitting off into another series, which Cho stars in, actually. So the heavy guy on the bottom left there, I believe Cho. I believe Cho is the voice actor for that character. And Cho is also a very good comedic voice actor. I think he's been in a few other things too. But anyway, it's they're allowed to get out of prison one day if they get enough of a reward, and these are the jokes about what they do during that day.
They've spent their one-day ticket, so they get to go out, and they go to a family restaurant and sit at a booth, and so they start chatting.
It's usually really stupid things that they use it on.
Yeah.
They
start chatting about One Piece, like, oh man, One Piece is pretty crazy now. And so they're...
One guy's reading Takabon.
So he's like, all right, which is your favorite One Piece character? Oh, my favorite? And the one guy says, I think I'm Frankie. And then... The one that Zach described as being played by Cho says, I would say Brooke.
Well, there's the joke. There it is.
And, and then like, oh, what about you? And he's like, me? I don't know, maybe Law. And they're like, oh, yeah, I see that. And then this other guy with the sunglasses.
So the guy with this, just to explain to Kaiji, or the specific Kaiji, like, spinoff. Mm-hmm. These are the guys that make sure that they're not, doing anything, because they're all in debt and therefore in like servitude to this mega corporation. It's a little too real, the series, for comedy.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the guy who works for the corporation.
Mm-hmm. And he just thinks Sanji to himself from the other booth. Like, oh, who would you want to be friends with? Wow, friends, that's tough. I don't know, maybe like Duval. What? Why? And then he's thinking Chopper. they're like, what's your favorite arc? And he's like, Skypiea. And so,
wow, this guy knows his stuff. Yeah,
he does know his stuff. So they're just kind of going into his background of like the different hobbies that he has, and including he picked up he was visiting family or something, and then he just picked up at random a volume of One Piece that his nephew had left around, and he's like, oh, I'll just read this one book, and then the next thing you know, he turned the page and
12 years.
He's like, hey, do you have more of this? And then the nephew is gaming with his friend, and he's like, oh yeah, I got all the volumes. And so
they're literally right next to you, guy.
Yeah, they're just going through his background. Cool. And let's see, what is he saying?
I had Stephen on just to translate this comment.
Yeah, this is
my
okay. So they're talking about the series, and then he's realizing that they are talking about things he hasn't reached yet in the story. So
oh no,
it's spoilers, and he's like, oh god, and so he starts to cover his ears. He's like, he had a sense that they were talking about parts that he hadn't read yet in the series.
Where are they actually up to? I'm curious.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, it's like, man, I was crazy when Sanji did beep. And then they're like, oh yeah, well, when beep turned out to actually be beep. It's like, yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. His trouble, his danger evading power that he exhibited in this moment was his own observation hockey. That's what he learned later on.
Oh my god, to see this animated.
What is Joy Crew?
That's their fake
restaurant?
It must be a fake restaurant. Yeah, it must be. There's probably a joke in there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the next one now, I would not at all blame you for not being able to pinpoint the artist who drew these, but you will absolutely recognize their work. Yes, this is Bukubu Okawa, who runs the now quite famous Pop Team Epic manga, and he did some four panel stuff here. I'm not even sure if these are very surreal, as you might.
I mean, it's Pop Team Epic, yeah.
Yeah. I do like the one of Doflamingo in prison where he has the newspaper and he's reading the crappy, funny section in the paper and he's going, and like doing the Doflamingo laugh.
I like that the comic is of birds, I guess, because it's Big News Morgans. Or is that like a Doflamingo chasing
Morgans.
Big News Morgans there or something?
No, he's saying like, oh, I know. If I put his obituary in the paper, and then he's like, wah ha ha, and he's throwing all these coins up in the air like he's gotten rich, and then the person is running after him like, hey, get back here, you. So I don't know. Maybe that is Doflamingo. Maybe that's Morgans is getting rich by printing fake obituaries, and it is causing him to laugh with rage and mirth.
It's very funny. Okay, yeah, we can move on.
And then the Robin and Chopper one here. Chopper's like, what's going to happen in the live action? And Robin's oh, Chopper, you'll just be Chopper. And he's like, oh, okay. And I'm sure Frankie will be made out of cardboard. And Frankie's like, hell no, that's not fair. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And
a regular guy could play Frankie, though. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
No, that's for Chopper. Yeah.
Right.
And the last one here is from Radio Wada, who is a very famous long-running gag artist. Does the very sort of minimalistic art style, where they are sitting on beanbags. They are described as the beanbags that ruin you as a person. Like you just become so lazy you never want to do anything. And so they're sitting in this giant room, and Zoro's like, "Hey, Luffy, can you get me a Coke from the fridge?" And Nami's like, "Oh, me too." And so Luffy goes up and walks over, and they're like, "Wait, what are you doing? You don't need You don't need to get up and walk over to the fridge. You can use your gum powers to stretch and go get them. And Luffy's like, I turn the page.
Well, they get the fancy glass bottle.
He's like, I always open the refrigerator the normal way, which I think is supposed to be like a reference to the like, I never want to go on an adventure that isn't any fun or something like that. Yeah. And they're like, oh my God, Luffy, thank you. And they're just moved to tears. Okay. So, yeah, that's the kind of weird, like very low stakes.
Also, Adult Swimmy. A lot of these are, to be fair.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Someone also agreed that all the choppers in this were amazing because the next page is just all the choppers.
Yeah.
Thank you,
as we
did that.
Switch to the next thing. So that is the end of all the manga collabs. And we get our favorite thing to complain about, which is the Devil Fruit designs.
Was this for, what's his face, the Tontara?
We have the so-so fruit for Leo, who it is literally a little quilted ball that is on a needle that rests on a little twig. So
what could this fruit be?
What could it possibly be? Yeah.
Actually, that makes no sense. I guess it would be. Yeah, okay. The stem goes.
The so-so fruit. Yeah, and then the hobby fruit, which is Sugar's power.
It kind of winds up.
I guess. The stem is the like a clockwork key. The wind up.
That's kind of cute, but also ridiculous.
Yeah. And it kind of looks like a yo-yo from the side, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. The hobby fruit is a very weird one. It is definitely one of the more marriage of convenience type of things that Oda has invented.
The next thing is a chapter out of the Law novel. Is that what this is?
Yeah. So we actually have 2 novels in this magazine. This is chapter 1 of the second Trafalgar Law novel. So they started up another one.
The Trafalgar Law.
The first one was about how the Heart Pirates came together. And this one is called Kikoku no Toki, or like the moment or the time of Kikoku, which is Law's sword. And I'm not sure what. Yeah, like I said, I have not read through this, so I'm not sure when this is supposed to take place, or what it has to do with. You do have a few little illustrations depicting the action. There's a little girl with 2 big knives and a walk on her head who looks like she's about to cut Law up. So, yeah. The edginess is external.
Beppo is very scared in the background there.
Yeah, they look very concerned about the little girl with the knives. But, yeah. Anyways, another thing to potentially look forward to someday in English. And then we get part 2, the Moff part. Mofu.
They've included, is that Funkfried?
Yeah, Funkfried is in the...
he is a mammal.
On the cover. He's not furry. He's not fluffy, though. But he's a cute animal. And, yeah, this whole next section is pretty much just sort of like a... they almost look like Viver cards. Like they're styled in that way where they all have the same sort of... like layout on the pages, but it's they got an artist to do some very cute illustrations of all the fluffiest and cutest animals in the story. Yeah, starting with Chopper, and then there's Beppo, Carrot, Dogstorm, Cat Viper, Pedro, Peckhams, Wanda, Moosey, Pierre, the bird horse, the South Bird, and then the Super Spot Build Duck Squad, the Koma animals from Wano, the Koma Inu, and whatnot. And so, it just has like a bunch of
Eyelash
facts.
The camel?
Yeah, he's listed under the Super Spot Build Duck Squad because he is a member. Right. And they have various stats such as like general like size and what animal they are and their features and whatnot. And there's also a Moff quotient. So how fluffy, how moffy they are. Chopper's is infinite.
Yes.
obviously.
Well, at growing through the series, it started out at a finite amount when he was big Chopper.
Yeah. There's little like four panel joke things and cutesy stuff too. They have like hashtag words, which are like the Kyun keywords, or like the keyword that makes your heart skip a beat, or like, you know, gets you all moe about them. So Chopper's hashtag is Suekko, which means the youngest, like the youngest sibling, because he is the baby of the group, of course. Beppo, his Moff quotient is 68%, and his keyword is hashtag Captain. Captain!
Yeah. He does say that a lot.
Yes, he does.
Yep.
Carrot's quotient is 58%, and her keyword is Tenshin Ranman, which is it's a Yoji Jugugo, or a like classic sort of four kanji saying or idiom, which in this case is just like sort of a boundless natural curiosity, which of course very appropriate to Carrot. Dogstorm, his Moff quotient is 81%. And his keyword is hashtag Akazaya9, because he is one of them. Let's see. Cat Viper, his Moff quotient is 82%. So Dogstorm is 81, Cat Viper is 82%.
Dogstorm always getting the raw end.
He's much
moffier. Yes.
Yeah, people always they're drawn to the cats more. And Cat Viper's hashtag is toys. And yeah, we have many examples of him jumping off after toys such as balls and little cat danglers and things like that.
I think he's also more liked because they play more into his... I mean, they have some stuff with Dogstorm, but Cat Viper is pretty
gags,
funny. Yeah.
Pedro, his Moff quotient is 56%. So he's still nice and fluffy. Peckham's is 5%, which I assume is because he turns into a turtle.
Turtles are cute. Come on, they're fluffy. Wait,
and his power has the hardness of diamond. If you forgot, so yeah, the 5% is well warranted. These ones are single pages, so they don't give you a little hashtag stuff. Wanda's quotient is 60%. Moosey's is 21%. I guess because
so cute. That's a very cute Moosey.
He has a very appealing and shiny coat, but the sharp horns might dissuade you from wanting to
Not very fluffy
pet
overall,
him.
though.
No.
Not so much. Yeah.
I'm surprised the next two are as high as
as
they
low
are.
as they are. Yeah. Oh
no, high as
Pierre is 24%. So he does have some soft feathers as the bird wings, but the Pegasus hide does not. It's very short haired, of course, so not so fluffy.
Of course,
and the South bird is 34%.
That's a little high, it seems to me.
I agree, and the attitude you'd think would.
Yeah, it says it has some very appealing plumage, but it has a very mocking tone and dismissive nature, so it might not let you pet it.
Southbirds might be
Yeah.
one of my favorite animals in the series. They're very
Southbird is at 34, but Eyelash is at 38. Doesn't seem
too high for Eyelash too. Eyelash is a dick.
Karoo is 50% and Eyelash at 38%.
Karoo underrated character generally, but it's a straw hat, and no one could really refute that.
Yes, is a very fluffy bird that makes you want to hug it, and you could probably sleep very soundly in its soft down. Sounds accurate. And you got little drawings of all the others.
The
as
Duck
well.
Bell Squad, yeah.
Centaur,
funny
Cowboy.
names.
Yes, Centaur, Cowboy, Stomp, Hikoichi, Bourbon Jr., and Ivan X. On a good day, I can remember all of them.
Bourbon Jr. I know you can, Stephen. We've definitely talked about this before. Like how Bourbon Jr. drinking the bourbon there. You could go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. And lastly, the coma animals, such as the coma lion, the coma deer, the coma rooster, all of those. Coma chio is at 74%. And Onimaru, the coma fox, is at 45%. Not sure why one is so much higher than the other, but they're both.
The fox,
Well, Chio's got a lot of personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing on the Duckbill Squad, finally. You know what? I realized this part of the issue, specifically Matt Cohn pilled, if he's out there.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is the how to raise One Piece animals as pets.
Oh no.
And so, yeah, I guess it just has...
Just don't.
For the spot build, super spot build Duck Squad, make sure they have plenty of drinking water because of the one thing we know about Karoo is that he drinks from the water when he runs off on his mission.
Immediately. It's like eating all of the popcorn before the movie starts.
Mm-hmm. Lapon, the dangerous rabbits from Drum Island. Be careful that their teeth don't grow too long. That's what it says on the paragraph of text. And number 3 is the boar, referring to the oh god, what did I call him? It was the god of the mountain, and then there was the what did I call the little one again? I forget.
I don't remember, but I remember we took.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like important. Mountain God and Mountain God Jr. or something like that. From the flashback, Oden's flashback.
Yeah.
The island whales make an appearance here.
Funkfried.
Yeah. Funkfried. Yeah, it doesn't say elephant. It's just Funkfried.
Take care of your pet sword. Yes.
Yes, increase your pet's affinity and increase your closeness by taking it out on a stroll. So there you go, Funkfried. The Bananawani, Banana Croc, Banana Dial. The Humandrills are included as well from Muggy Kingdom.
Don't slice them with swords.
Banana Gator.
But they do have... the Humandrills do have super healing power in their saliva because that's what they do when Zoro is training against them.
Okay, maybe you can cut them with swords. It's okay.
After that, now who is this person? There's another little interview guest segment. This is Crystal Noda. Is the name of this person.
Not Noda Skywalker?
No, I don't believe so.
No, I doubt it. Yeah.
Crystal Noda. Okay, this is a comedian. I had to find the profile on the next page. Who is part of the comedy group Magical Lovely. I feel like I've heard of them. They won. Okay, so in 2020 they won the R1 Grand Prix and the M1 Grand Prix. So those are like the two big comedy competitions in Japan. So, wow, I guess I missed out. If they won both in the same year, that must have been a big deal.
The M1 Grand Prix famously uses that Fatboy Slim Ken song from Moulin Rouge.
Yes, I was just tweeting about that or on a Blue Sky the other day because it did show up in Shoha Shoten, which was fun. Yes, we can.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I guess this guy is just talking about his favorite animals. That's why he's in the back of the book, not the comedy section. 3 characters easiest to raise, who seem easiest to raise. Shushu number 1, Hattori number 2, and Bluegory number 3.
Shushu? Shushu seems like a pain in the ass. I mean, look, it's an adorable story, but what a stubborn dog.
But he's faithful.
He's faithful, but he's also kind of a dick, isn't he?
Well, he's here.
He was only a dick because the guy died.
Was he a dick before the guy died? Yeah, I don't remember
No, he was maxed out.
Okay.
And then the worst three to raise as pets. Number 1 is Zunisha.
So much.
There it is.
Yeah, and his reasoning is not like because it's the size of a country. It's I'm the type of person that cannot talk to Zunisha, so I don't think it will listen to me, which is fair enough. The second one is the bird from the Birdie Kingdom, the one that Chopper,
huge one. Yeah.
the huge one. Yeah, I forget what I called this. Masqueredomo Goyu bird. I feel like this is one of those characters where when me and Greg were going through the WT 100, the list of all the characters in the series, I think we came up with the name for this one, but I don't remember what it was off the top of my head. But yeah, that one's in there. And number 3 is the Jailer Beasts from Impel Down. So there you go.
Which one of the Vegapunks is at the top of the page? I forgot her name.
Atlas
is.
She has a fluffy tail. With no
she has a fluffy tail.
And Sue the Sky Fox is up there too.
Yeah. I guess since his group is called Magical Lovely, is probably a big part of their shtick is like very cutesy things.
And then this is the interview, and then ads after that. It looks like.
Yeah, there's
cool ads.
Some more folks, and yeah, there's let's see, One Piece Day 2024 report, which is where they did their little exhibit in August. With a bunch of stuff, they took out all of the Jump Festa stuff and for another go around, I guess.
Yeah, I know. They published this before.
Yeah, the paw balloon from Kuma's Memories,
Balloon of Pain or Balloon of Memories.
Yeah, Dorian Brogy. That's an actual good use of giant balloon, giant inflatable float stuff.
What page are we on?
164.
Okay, I'm all over the place. Okay. Oh yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think the Dory and Brogy were at one of the shows we went to.
Dory and Brogy should be in the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yes, yeah, we'll get them next.
As long as their heads don't pop or something.
Yeah. They should be in season 2 of Netflix, so I would imagine.
Right.
There you go. Get some crossover.
No, they've already been casted. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Cool.
So they'll be ready depending on when the season comes out. They should be eligible for the Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all of the stuff they were showing off. I see the One Piece logo, the One Piece.
Yeah, I see that. I remember that was the one where we saw the storyboard. That's
drawings. Right. That's when they showed off that stuff.
One Piece Day was legit this year. So, like that's Kitatani and the Dear Son.
It's too bad I missed most of that. I think I was still in the hospital at that point.
It's still online. I think you could watch it. Yeah, I missed it live, but you could.
Yeah,
was it subtitled in real time?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, cool.
They did have some stuff.
Not good,
for sure,
but it was subtitles.
Yeah,
it was on YouTube, right?
I think.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
Yeah, this was their real Jump Festa. The actual Jump Festa this year was pretty much just the Yao send off.
Yeah.
So this was kind of the.
It was more
real.
It was like a convention for One Piece. It was pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
That's what this was. Yeah.
Online, also.
Very, very neat.
Is this next one the USJ show?
The US One Piece premiere summer 2024 report. And so, yeah, it's just a bunch of promo images of stuff that they did at Universal Studios.
Looks excellent as usual. They do a good job if you have a chance to go.
Yeah, they have some. The 174 and 175. We have the stage show stuff, and so they show off the first live action version of Gear 5, the stage version, which is kind of tough to do.
Why does it kind of look like Gintoki?
With with a real person. But yeah, then they have some original characters who I've never heard of. Homing, who has the homie fruit that has homing powers. So he's just named after
my homie.
His power. Font, who is the Mabo no Mi, or the legendary or the illusion person.
He doesn't have the power of Fanta?
That would be better than probably whatever this is. And the one on the right is Bolster, who is the boss of the Crimson Soldiers, who has the shuku or the shrinking like compression fruit.
Definitely filler characters. I mean, that's what these shows are. They're kind of like live action filler episodes.
They're original.
But it's cool
stories.
because it is like it's a real show. Like real fireworks and fire.
Yeah. In fact, you can see on the next set of pages they have some pyrotechnics on display.
I see.
Yoki. Yeah, like if you've ever seen the Indiana Jones like stunt show, it's like that but better.
Yeah.
But Chopper is a stuffed animal walking around. That's the important part.
Cool.
Oh my God, you're right. Wow.
It's funny because it's so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zoro's story.
Yes, this one started in the last one, so this is chapter 2.
I think the big thing that I have seen on the internet coming out of this, rightfully so, is the horrifying Mihawk on page 182, the Mihawk Gate.
Oh my God. Yeah, it is. This guy has the welcome Mihawk Mania or Mihawk super fans or something. So I would imagine that this is probably like, maybe this is during the time skip. So or maybe it's before. Who knows? I don't know. I have not, checked this out yet.
No.
So it's definitely got something to do with Zoro's relationship to Mihawk. And this guy has built a little theme park or something. And then there's a kid who splashed Zoro with water. Whoops.
Dead.
Are there any other
in the live action? That kid would be dead now.
Yeah.
That looks
Zoro's
like the
carrying
water
around his body in a bag.
That looks like the water where in the sumo, the previous wrestler offers water to the next wrestler coming up the aisle, and that looks like that's the water ladle.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
Yeah, this is a long.
You're gonna have a lot of work to do once this gets picked up. This one,
2027.
Yeah, probably. You'll do that with the Bluey movie and part 2 of Batman I saw as well.
Oh, that's what's coming out.
You're not calling it a Bluefy movie?
We don't know what they're calling it yet, but yes, that should be what they call it.
Now we are actually in the ads section.
Yeah, I see that.
This is the one
fan
piece
letter thing.
the One Piece novel.
The novel.
They're advertising it because they used some of those stories to put together fan letter.
Even though they're completely different and much worse, right? Weren't they? That's what I heard, at least.
No, it's just that a lot of those scenes, like the scene with the guys talking about like who's the strongest character, that came from they were power scaling the fighters. That came from one of the fan letter stories.
That couldn't just have come from the internet, where that happens constantly.
It was inspired by real life.
Oh, there's One Piece base. You were talking about this.
Yeah, One
new
Piece
starter
base.
set. New starter set for FIFA cards. I saw that at Keynote today. I didn't pick it up though.
Oh, I have. Yeah, I picked those
Yep.
up.
They've been putting them out. I've put together a pile of the packs that I haven't opened yet because it's such a pain in the ass to
glue
peel
off
them
properly.
off. So
yeah.
But eventually,
you have to be careful with it. I don't know where it is.
Once they run through the last couple of arcs and they don't have any more. I mean, they're getting into Egghead.
Put them in the fridge so the glue doesn't melt.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There we go. So yeah, just ads for that stuff. There's
Harajuku store.
Harajuku Mugiwara store. So it's very
pink.
Yes,
very pink.
It is very in keeping with the Harajuku fashion styles.
What's the Hobonichi thing? What is that?
Oh, so that's the calendar.
Okay.
That they've come out in previous years. They're very fancy. They're definitely all sold out now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have them for 24 and 23, and I never used them, so I'm like, okay, this is cool.
Can't bring yourself to ruin them. Yeah.
That's the problem. When I get a food that's a commemorative of something, it ends up sitting there because I'm like, I can't eat this. This is commemorating something. Anyway, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got the cosplay pictures. They're still doing those. They still look pretty cool.
They do. The bell mirror is excellent, although it's definitely a wig. I can see that. You can see
yes, like a knit, like a
knit hat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. A winter hat.
I saw someone saying that they didn't like in the live action that all the characters who wear wigs have their eyebrows unchanged.
I
have not noticed.
Is that right? I would have to go back and watch again.
Yeah, me too.
The Korra with the nosebleed is very disturbingly rendered there.
Yes.
I still think Brodsky would really like this.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying for almost every page.
I like the Kizaru action shot where like his cloak is kicking behind his foot so that you really see the action. And
the cardboard Sunny and the baby Luffy.
Baby Luffy, yep.
Baby Luffy. With a knitted straw hat.
And yeah, there's another like sort of fan submission favorite things about certain groupings of characters such as Luffy and Zoro, Zoro and Sanji, Kid and Killer, Law and Zoro. Wait, I know what these people are thinking of. Kaido and King, Garp and Kuzan.
Yeah, groupings.
Yes.
Vivi and Mr. Nine.
Yeah, Vivi and Mr. Nine.
We know that's a big one on AO3. Mm-hmm. And then
was that actually a data point in the Yaoi Thunderdome at some point?
That's not Yaoi, is it?
No, but like as a comparison point, it seems like
I'm sure it's somewhere.
That would get brought up. Frankie and Senor Pink, Big Mom and Kaido, Dogstorm and Cat Viper.
These are like more canonical, maybe not romantic pairings.
Shuggy, Shanks and Buggy. Luffy and Barto. That's one I don't hear about a lot, but I'm sure it must exist. Shanks and Beckman and Roger and Rayleigh.
Never date a fan, like don't do that.
Yeah, it's asking for trouble.
Yeah, Luffy's smart enough. Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's a preview. They probably have not announced what the next one is going to be yet.
They're doing them much further, but they've been. Well, I didn't. The last one isn't my personal cup of tea, but I'm not going to that wedding. But the Zoro Sanji wedding. But they've been doing a good job with them, I think, generally, and they don't need to come out that often.
They still find themes to to pursue.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll probably be a little while because this one actually we are getting to this very promptly because this one just came out this month in December. So
we've been good these last few. We like right away because remember Volume 1. What were we up to? 110. We did right after it came out. We did that week, I think. Stephen, thank you. That was fun. These are fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. It was a lot
There's
of laughing.
lots to like about this.
A lot of moffing.
A lot of moffing, yes.
A lot of moffing.
We did moffed.
Yeah, we did.
We have not eaten, though, which I need to do pretty soon.
Yeah, so why don't we round off so that Stephen could eat and moff and pray and loof.
Yes, all those things.
All those things. This has been the One Piece podcast for 2024 and episode 849. Stephen, thank you so much. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad you came on to translate that Kaiji crossover for me.
Yeah. I know that as always, like it's probably a tougher thing to listen to if you don't have the magazine. So if you are curious, if you particularly if you live in a big city and you have a Kinokuniya there.
Yeah, like in Chicago or Los Angeles, I think there's also one in New Jersey.
There's one in New Jersey, one in New York. There's a bunch in Texas now, and Atlanta. I think they have one now.
Yeah, but none next to me.
But not near Steve.
Not in San Diego.
They are Since as I was just saying at the end of the segment, this one just came out at the start of December, so there's a good chance you can still find it there, or you can always try to order
today
them.
before recording.
There you go. And you could probably order them from Amazon or some other retailer as well. So if you're curious about what we were talking about, you can go and check it out, and then you can listen to the episode and see what we were looking at.
Yeah, and I recommend this one. This one's a lot of fun, especially if you're a fan of any of the series that were mentioned or that were drawn by a specific creator that was also in this. I'm losing my words. This is also our last episode of the year. We're not going to do the full Majis or whatever we do at the end of the year. I don't know if we did that last year either. But to be fair, this has been a year. And next year's going to be.
But if you have any memories of the year that you want to share with us, let us know.
Yeah, Ed is right. I do want to share our top 5 episodes. I have a big thing written on our website you could check out. And I'll repost that on our social media as well. In no particular order, our most listened to episodes this year was Vegapunk's back with Crystal Chanel and Henry Thurlow. I think that was the big Henry Thurlow, I'm done. Well, to be fair, One Piece was taking a break, and that was one of the reasons.
Yeah.
Vegapunk's back.
Maxell D. Luffy with the Luffy Gear 5.
Luffy getting blown away.
Yeah, I cannot believe these were this year. The Emmett. So the last one was for the chapter Emmett. This one was for Sun Shield, which I think was also the baseball bat one, right? Where he gets the. I think. Anyway, that one's with Roger. Pizzaiolo, which. I don't even remember what that was referring to.
It was there was definitely another pizza scene in the manga, I think.
There's the image. I'm looking at the image. Sorry. With Kizaru and Saturn that he's twirling them like.
Oh,
pizzas.
that's right. Yes, because he twirled them. Yep.
Yep. That was for 1109 Interception.
And Sungwon was on that one.
Sungwon was on that one. Of ProZD Plays Games. And 807, he's more Gyuki than man with, I think, one of my favorites, Steve. It's with the actual, it's incredible. If you haven't looked at the images, please do. That's Brian was on that one. Brian Newton from Rick and Morty, Teen Titans Go, and Invincible Fight Girl. Is his
I see ads for that a lot on TV, actually.
It's on Toonami.
I think they just finished the season or something.
On Max, yeah.
I think he was a supervising director. I think it was.
I wonder if they ever released that animated Steve Urkel Christmas special.
That might be lost in the Zaslav.
The Zaslav hole.
It got zazzed.
Yeah, it got zazzed. That sounds so gross. That's for chapter 1108. Come in, world. So these are all obviously the broadcast. And episode 800, 15 years of nuisances at the very beginning of the year, with a ton of people, I think. For 1102 and 1103, Kuma's Life and I'm Sorry, Daddy. So if you want to cry, there you go. The art for all of these are incredible. I think they're all Steve. Yeah,
these are all Steve. Yeah,
yeah. But check out the years. There's a slideshow, so you could just see all of them and bask in their ridiculousness / glory. Our artists this year did a really amazing job. Yeah,
we had tons of contributions from Brodsky and
Alex
Patton,
also
Alex
and Joey.
Joey Weiser helped out.
Did Vera do one this year? I can't remember. I'm making sure I'm not missing anyone. Josh. I don't know if they did one in 2024. But this year is such a blur to me that I really don't remember what started when. But yeah, a huge shout out to all our artists. Please check out their images. I don't want to think that these images go into an abyss. That's more of why I'm saying it.
I think some of them can be bought from our merchandise.
The imprint
outlets.
Store? Yeah, I don't think we get very much from that, but yeah, go for it.
Some of them are available, yeah.
Yeah, I need to update those. It's on imprint. INPRNT.com and One Piece Podcast, just search for us. Anyway, thank you, Stephen and Ed, for coming on today. You could check us
absolutely.
out. Stephen, where can people find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at stephenpaul.bsky.social.
Ed?
I'm also on Blue Sky. I'm edwarde.bsky.social, but I am still on Twitter at edwarde1piece, and I don't post on Weeb trailers anymore, but maybe one day I will. I have a backlog of things I never posted.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those. You could check us out. Sorry. You could check us out at onepiecepodcast.com, patreon.com/onepiecepodcast. We're still on Twitter, technically. We're posting updates on there. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, and onepiecepodcast.com.
And I think we also have a general. Don't we also have a general Discord that isn't just for Patreon subscribers?
Correct, we do. And that's at Discord. Let me see if I got this. Discord.com/GG, loud G like that, // One Piece Podcast, I believe is the URL for that. If not, you could go to our website. The link is at the top. Thanks to our crew for a really amazing year as well. And I can't forget to say, you could call us at our phone number, which is 347-497-MAJI.
Maji.
This phone number again, 347-497-6254. Call anytime.
Anytime.
With your questions, comments, or why heaven can't wait. I don't know why I wrote that one down. But yeah, I'm all over the place, obviously, because I'm just consistently exhausted recently doing these. So thank you for putting up with my inability to form words, like just there. Thanks to Delaney for editing, and thanks to everyone at the podcast for making this year awesome. We'll see you in 2025. I don't know what day of the week, because the chapter, as we mentioned, comes out on the 2nd. Oh, but you know what? I will take this opportunity to mention some of the guests we have at the beginning of the year.
Good idea.
Yeah. In no particular order, Crystal will be returning, I mentioned. The most, I think, requested guest I've had will be making his debut. I'm not going to say the date yet, just in case things change. Alexander, whose name has a C, a Z, and an X, who does YouTube and Twitch. And Sungwon is coming back, ProZD, next at the beginning of the year.
Cool.
And I have a lot of others that I'm trying to get on. If you have recommendations for guests, always open. But until next year, my name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
Oh, and that's Steven over there.
And I'm here too.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
We'll see you next year, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
So long.